This is the Sneaky Dragon, and I'm going to show you how to get every single star in the Athena Crisis Prequel Campaign level number 2, They Are Close to Home. The first thing I recommend that you do is beat the main campaign as well as the prequel campaign before you try to go for stars. This way you'll have access to 2 skill slots, and there's some skills we need. Rapid Maneuver, which you can obtain from the main campaign, will give you +1 movement for tires and tread units, at the cost of a little bit of defense. This is totally necessary for the strategy I want to use. And additionally, I'm going to equip Attack Up +5%, just so we can do a little more damage. Alright, so I'm going to hold left click to skip all of the dialogue and get right into the level. There are a few things we need to be aware of when trying to get all 3 stars. The first is we need to beat the level in 3 turns, which is why we took the skill that will give our transport +1 movement. You'll see why in a second. The other thing we need to do is have a very high power rating, which is pretty easy to do. I'll show you how to do that, and we can't lose more than 2 units. Alright, so the core of our strategy involves the HQ. We want to beat the level in 3 turns by making sure that we can capture the HQ in exactly 3 turns. To do that, we're going to put our infantry that's on our HQ into our Jeep. We're also going to take our tank and put it on top of the enemy HQ. This will prevent the enemy from building any units out of their HQ, and that way they can't block what we're going to do. Once our infantry is inside the Jeep, we're going to move its maximum movement all the way over here. But we're not going to take the infantry out of the Jeep. The reason is that when the infantry is in the Jeep for 1 turn, it will be able to use the capture ability the very turn we drop it off, which is really important for doing this on time. Now we want to fight the level. Remember, we need a very high power rating and we don't want to lose any units. So, we want to do as much damage as possible. We're going to take this mech and attack this tank here and finish it off with the flamethrower. Remember, a high power rating comes from kills in comparison to lost units. So if we don't lose any units and we get a few kills, we'll definitely hit the required power rating. I'm going to attack the tank so that can't do too much damage to us. Move up this mech and hit the APU over here. This thing is not ready to attack yet. You'll notice it's not in attacking mode, so we can ignore it. Now that we can build units, I'm going to build a Humvee because they're really good at taking these things out, and I'm going to build a flamethrower because they're great at getting rid of infantry. I'll also move the Pioneer here. It doesn't really matter, it's just going to soak up some damage, and as long as it doesn't die, we're good to go. Alright, ending our turn, the important thing is that none of our units die. Remember, only 2 units are allowed to die, and if 2 units die, we have to be careful. If more than 2 units die, we need to restart the level. Luckily, nobody died. Nobody died at all. Fantastic. Alright, we can move our tank out of the way now, and I'm going to attack this mech to keep it from attacking something else later. Now we're going to take our Jeep, park it right next to the HQ, and drop off our infantry on top of the HQ, and it needs to begin capturing this turn. That way we're right on time to end the level in exactly 3 turns. We're going to take the Humvee that we just bought and kill this over here. The reason we're attacking it is so that it can't attack our flame unit, and our flame unit is able to kill this infantry. Remember, the entire idea behind all of these strategies is just to keep our units alive. We don't want them to take any damage. Alright, I'm going to use this to wipe out this unit over here. And we can use this mech to one-shot this. Very nice. This Pioneer looks like it's in a little bit of trouble. Let's back it up and use this flamethrower unit to deal massive damage to this infantry. We're just trying to do lots of damage to make them too weak to kill any of our units. That's sort of the plan. This thing looks like it's ready to do some damage, so let's smack it in the face so it can't. And we'll go ahead and build another Humvee, and just to protect our flamethrower dude over here, let's put an infantry on top of them. Remember, you don't have to move exactly like I'm moving. You just have to remember the general principles. Capture the HQ in 3 turns, do damage to all the units so they can't kill anyone. And as long as you're doing all of those things, you should be good no matter what happens. I'll end my turn here. Now, they're all too weak to kill any of my units, so we're going to have a maximum power rating. In fact, we could probably beat the map by wiping out all the units too. But since you might have not played this as perfectly as I did, the HQ will be the easiest method for you. I recommend that you first check the How to Win section, make sure that you have enough power and you haven't lost more than 2 units. If you don't have enough power, for example, let's pretend I was just under enough power, you could go ahead and kill more units to gain more power, and once you have enough, it's all green, you can go ahead and capture the HQ, finishing off the level. And this will give you all 3 stars. Let me know in the comments if you found this helpful or if you have any questions. And this is Sneaky, signing off.